I'm Victoria Jane, and this is GigPigs from the studio, and I'm with Pippa Crossland. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I feel like you're giving pop star energy right now.
Do you know what? It's the sparkle, isn't it?
I love it. I love it. Do you know what? Talk to me about your style of when you're putting together an outfit.
Well, you should know I'm not stylish at all.
No.
It's a recent development that I've been trying to get more into it.
Oh.
I like to go as basic as possible because I feel like then you can't go wrong.
Okay.
But no, I'm not. I wish I was a fashionista. But
You are though.
I'm really not. Thank you.
You can't deny that anymore. But let's just jump straight to it. So you was born in Sheffield. Yeah. You've been in Manchester for about 5 years. Mm-hmm. And you've been doing music for a little while now.
Yeah. I have been singing my whole life.
Yeah.
But I started, when I was about 18, like I released my first song, which has obviously now been deleted. But I've been working on it since about that time and just like making sure I was really happy with it. And started releasing last summer, which is so exciting.
Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
And obviously you're still at the start of your journey, even though you have been singing for so long. What was it like growing up in Sheffield and the influences, the artists that kind of inspired you, and how does that compare to Manchester and the scene up here?
I think in some ways it's quite similar, but Sheffield, I mean, obviously there's such a strong like affinity with people like the Arctic Monkeys and Pulp and people like that, like are really woven into your everyday like listening as a fan. And I grew up every day listening to the Arctic Monkeys albums in the car on the way to school. Yeah, I am a huge fan. And sometimes people are like, you don't sound like Alex Turner, so you can't be from Sheffield. And I'm like, no, I promise I am from Sheffield. But I think it is quite similar to Manchester. And obviously like everyone was an Oasis fan growing up. So like that did come into it. But I mean, it was exciting to grow up in that kind of, knowing that someone who grew up just down the road from you had been like, it had this huge success. It was, even though they were doing something completely different than I knew I would ever want to do, it was like really inspiring. And I still love the Arctic Monkeys and I still sing their songs all the time.
I love that so much. And then like moving to Manchester and you went to the Royal Northern College of Music.
I did.
What was that like and how did that kind of influence you as an artist?
I think the biggest influence it had on me as an artist was the people that I met, and I would just not be doing this in the same way if I hadn't been. I met my producer, I met all my band. It was really like shaping for me as an artist. And I mean, as well as learning about, like on the course, learning about other artists, there were so many other artists in the college when I was there that inspired me and that I listen to now. And some of my friends and some were just like in other years that I'm a fan of. So it was also really great for that. Just really expanded whatever I thought I was going to do before I went is completely different for having gone, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's part of the journey as well.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
So gigging, that's obviously completely a different experience if you haven't gigged before. You've done quite a few gigs. And what have been some of your favourite gigs?
Some of my favourite gigs, Jack and I did Jack's my guitarist, we did a So Far Sounds a couple of weeks ago.
Lovely.
I was so ill. It was awful. I mean, it wasn't awful, but I was so poorly, but I still loved every second of it. It was so intimate. I love an intimate, like, acoustic gig. They're one of my favourite setups to do. We did the Bedford pub in Balham last summer in London, and that was like a venue that I'd wanted to play for ages, and it was so exciting. And we kind of did like a band, but kind of stripped an acoustic setup, which is one of my favourite setups, like is the more intimate, exposed sound. So they've been two of my favourites, but we've got some really exciting ones coming up that I'm really looking forward to.
Can we reveal anything?
Yeah, so I'm supporting the Deep Blue in Yes on Saturday.
Amazing.
And I'm doing Jodie Bryant's Discover Live,
Wow.
the first Manchester
That's
edition in March. So that is really exciting.
That's so exciting to look forward to.
Yeah, buzzing.
And you're also an amazing backing singer
Yeah,
as well.
I am.
Talk to us about that and how you even got involved in backing singing.
So that was through uni. I had a friend who was in another year who it was actually during a lockdown and they just needed another girl to come in and do backing singing. And I'd never done it before. And I was like, guys, I'm probably going to be rubbish, just warning you. But went in and ended up loving it. And it just, that one day led to, I've done 5 UK tours now as a backing singer with multiple people. I've performed with some really, really cool artists. I'm very lucky.
Gosh.
Some great venues. So yeah, I love doing it. It's a really exciting, completely different experience. I've learned a lot about myself as an artist actually as well through doing backing vocals, which I never thought I would.
Yeah.
It's really
but
cool.
tour life, that's, 1, but 5 tours.
Yeah, you learn a lot on tour. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about how you cope with other people. And it's very close proximity. I wrote my final uni essay from the back of a van.
Oh my gosh.
On motorways.
No way.
Last summer.
Crazy.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That is something I would never guess.
Yeah.
What was like one of the craziest things that's happened to you on tour?
I think, oh God, there's been some, there was one time where we were performing in Blackpool and something about me is that I'm I get really starstruck. Even if I don't really know the person that well, if I know that they're famous, I'm like, oh my God, there's a famous person. And we were in Blackpool and someone was like, Gary Neville is backstage. And I was like, I don't know who Gary Neville is, but I know the name. And I was like, is it a footballer? Don't know, but that's my guess. And everyone was like, yeah. And I fangirled over Gary Neville, having never even I looked at him and I was like, is it him? And they were like, yeah.
That is something I've never heard about. I love it so much.
Yeah, I know. I'm so cringe. I really fangirl over people. But I mean, we got to perform in some performing at the Royal Albert Hall.
Amazing.
Is incredible. We did the Odeon Herodes in Athens, right by the Acropolis, which was unreal.
Yeah.
So I've had some really cool experiences. It's amazing.
It's so nice to hear that you've had all these experiences, and I feel like there's so much more to come because you're still at the start of your journey as an artist yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, you've not got many songs out,
No.
so what's the plan for the new music?
I am really enjoying releasing singles. I love putting all that attention into one song. And that is my plan for this year, is just to release, write, gig as much as possible.
Yeah.
Live shows at the moment are, my heart is just completely in performing live. I absolutely love it. In all capacities, the small setups in the tiny rooms and the big band in the huge rooms. It's I just love all aspects of it. And just being able to, I know it sounds really cliche, but just being able to connect with people through the music and seeing their immediate reactions to me is just the most incredible experience as an artist.
I love that so much.
Especially having, I think, done it as a backing singer and seeing somebody else get that, which is so lovely. And then experiencing it myself is I appreciate it so much every single time. So that's the goal for the moment, is to sing live as much as I can.
Oh, bless you. I can feel how much that you love it and you're passionate about it in your words. I'm going to end on my favourite question that I love to ask.
Okay.
What is one thing that you couldn't live without being on your rider at a gig?
Oh, that is such a good question.
It has to be on there.
That's such a good question. Okay, a few things. I have a bit of an unhealthy addiction to soothers, which is actually probably not, I shouldn't promote that, but I could not do a gig without a Strepsil or a soother.
Okay.
They need to be in my bag or on the rider. I am a huge Diet Coke fan.
Okay.
But above all, I am a chocoholic. So
really?
I would need to have some
So chocolate's going on
yeah,
there.
chocolate is on the rider. Chocolate buttons.
Okay, chocolate buttons.
Yeah,
Okay,
I love a chocolate button.
that.
What's your favourite chocolate?
I mean, I have a dairy allergy, so
Oh no! Okay,
we won't get into
we
my
will
favourite
get into
chocolate. But
Although
I
dairy-free
love that.
chocolate is quite good, but
Yeah, it is.
but
Well,
chocolate.
to me, it's good. I love
Yeah.
that though. Thank you so much for having this little chat.
Thank you for having me.
Make sure to check out Pippa's From the Studio live session.